Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is the Hammered Airsoft Smith. Viewers' discretion is advised. And I'm not gonna do the whole smoking's not cool thing because I just drug that out. So whatever. You don't get the point. Anyways, this is the 2,000 round review or overview of the WE Gen 5 Warrior gas blowback airsoft pistol. It's full metal, comes loaded, it's got Novak sights, it's got a rail, 1913 Picatinny rail, a skeletonized hammer, extending the beaver tail. Mine has a little bit of custom work to it, like we got real steel Hogue rubberized grips of the slim profile hand fitted to the pistol. Instead of an ambi thumb safety, I have a single side thumb safety. And make sure it's safe, which it is. And we have an extended Angel Customs guide rod. And instead of the Angel Customs guide rod plug, there's a custom made extended guide rod plug in there, which was a standard WEGI guide rod plug, or recoil plug, should I say. And I had drilled a hole through there, finished it with birchwood Casey's aluminum black. And I fitted a 3-hole skeletonized trigger. Now, I really like this gun. I really do. But I've had some issues, and I figured after 2,000 rounds I should address these issues just in case you guys purchase this gun. I mean, it may not be all of the Gen 5 WE Warriors. It may not just be the Gen 5 Warrior. It could be the A1. It could be any of them. But the two issues that I've been having pertain to the slide stop or slide lock and the hammer sear disconnector section back here. So, with all that being said, I just want to be clear, it may not be all of them, but this is what I experienced. So maybe you might want to keep your eyes peeled for this issue. Maybe if you run into it or whatever, you're not alone. I know those words don't always help, but hey, you're not alone. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the slide stop first. The issue that I started having with the slide stop, and I've mentioned this in the review, and I've mentioned this probably another time. Yeah, I got the original slide stop in this little bag, which means it was a pretty big issue. It's a good design, but I really think they should have made it... I sound like a broken record, and this might sound obvious, but they probably should have made the slide stop out of steel. Well, let's check it out here. There is the newer design, because not all the Gen 5s have it. This is the first one I ran into. And it's got a trench. I know that the camera isn't really picking it up well, but there's a trench there. And that's where the slide stop pin rides to ensure that the slide stop is always going to work. It does. But I'll get to that in a second. And the other thing that this slide stop allowed you to do with a WE 1911 gas blowback airsoft pistol that wasn't really, in my experience, wasn't enabled before, was that you could slingshot it. And for those of you who don't know, slingshotting it is when the pistol is empty, the slide lock is engaged, And when you load a new magazine in, you should be able to grab the rear of the slide, bring it all the way back. The slide stop should just drop on its own, and then you can just let the slide the slide go back in the battery, loading around in the chamber, and you're ready to rock. All the other slide stops up until this one did not do that. Again, my experience. This one allowed it. So, with that said, I'm starting to think that maybe even though you could slingshot it, you probably should not. Because when the slide stop drops, it may not drop all the way, so when you slingshot it, it may ride slightly over the top of it, creating extra wear and tear that is unnecessary. And I'll show you here. Slide stop's all black, so you should be able to see all the wear. See all that? Where the paint is coming off? And if you look here, again, I know it's not focusing in, but you could still see where the metal was, where the paint was taken off. And this back corner has actually burred, and I sanded it in hopes that, well, maybe if I sand the burr off, it'll be rectified. No. Getting to the issue. Using this slide stop in longevity when slingshotting. I'm not going to say it's the way it's designed. I'm not going to say that because I don't know. But once I realized you could slingshot it, I always have. Because, again, I never was able to before, and you should be able to because the real steel ones you can. So, I took this out, and I put a spare slide stop into the pistol, and it's been rectified. What has been rectified? Finally getting to the premature slide lock. That is when there is ammo in the magazine, you fire the gun, and the slide locks prematurely when there is ammo in the magazine. Should never happen. The only time your slide should lock back is when it is on empty, when it is done. This was happening at random. Sometimes it would happen after one shot, sometimes it would happen after a couple, sometimes it wouldn't happen at all during a magazine. There was a few times where I thought it would just fix itself. Maybe it needed to break in, I don't know. Again, a new design. So, you know, after slingshotting it, whenever that issue was there, I probably made it even worse. We're learning together. And, excuse me a minute. I hate when you lose train of thought, you get distracted, and it's like, oh, a butterfly. Yeah, so that issue kept occurring, and then it got worse. And then it was like after every single shot. And then that's when I was finally, you know what? Fuck this. Took it out. Put a spare in. That does not have this design with the trench. And it's been rectified. So, I'm going to take a couple shots with the spare slide stop in. Okay? Watch this slide stop make a liar out of me. It just always seems to go that way. And just to show you, this is an older design. There's no trench. I know, again, this camera. But you could see that. If I hear anyone bitch about that, come on. Anyways. the new design with the trench. Seven rounds. To prove it to you, you could totally slingshot this. Bring the slide all the way back. The slide stop has dropped. Okay. Let's see. I actually haven't used this in a while, but let's see if a little premature slide lock. Wow, it has not. I kind of had a feeling it was going to do that because it's camera. Off camera, it does it all the time. So I guess it's pissed off at me for calling it out, but really that's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to give a heads up. Slingshot it. Okay. Even though I just said not to. I'm a hypocrite now, but this is all for learning purposes. 8-rounder. Here you go. Premature slide lock. You see, there's a round in the magazine. The slide is locked. Not completely, but still. And it would either do it like that, or it would fully engage. And then sometimes it won't drop when you bring the slide after that. When you bring the slide back after that, sometimes it won't slingshot back. That to me is unreliable. That is just... It was a great idea. It was... a turn on because it made it a little more realistic. Again, I plank, I retired from skirmishing. To me, it's all about the simulation, the transition from an airsoft gun to a real steel firearm. And the slingshot thing was just like a great idea because the real ones do that. So I haven't messed with it. Again, that was the first time I put that slide stop back in here after having the issue for so long. And it was having that issue before the 2,000 rounds. I'm not exactly sure when that occurred. But yeah, man, it was a fucking nightmare because who wants to shoot and then keep locking back? It's just like, you may as well use a spring powered gun because you gotta just work the slide every time, or almost every time anyway. I mean, it's just, it's not right. It's for the birds. It's bullshit, and I don't like it. It's unacceptable. Again, for the 100th time, I can't stress it enough. Great idea, but I think if it was made out of better metal, a more durable metal, it probably would have been perfect, and there probably wouldn't be any issues. And also, again, because I gotta be clear, this may not happen to you. And also, this may not happen to you if you do not slingshot it. So even though you have the option to slingshot it now, you probably shouldn't, because it's probably just going to fuck it up. We'll fire the rest of the rounds out of this 8-rounder with the spare slide stop, an older one. Just fine. The other issue. Yeah, 14 minutes in, we have another issue. The other issue, like I said in the beginning, is pertaining to the hammer, sear, disconnector, leaf spring, that whole section in the rear back strap. If you're new to the channel, and this happens to be the first video, second video, whatever, you're new regardless. I have a lot of experience with WE 1911s. That happens to be, as far as airsoft goes, I would say it's my specialty. I know it like the back of my hand. I've taken them apart. I could feel shit from my eyes, blindfolded, one hand left-handed when my dominant is my right. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm not boasting, but I'm just saying that's how well I know the guns. This issue that occurred, I just cannot figure it out. And jokingly, I think the name Miranda is just cursed. Because I named the Ultra Carry Pro to Miranda, and I had the same or similar issues. And then when that whole project fell apart, to put it lightly, and then I rebuilt it using this pistol as a donor, you know, to kind of like a conversion to put the 3.8 slide on there, blah 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 blah. Now this pistol is named Miranda now, and it's like now this is having similar issues. So what's happening? It's like, okay, let's function test it. We are empty, no magazine. Hello, yeah, hi, no magazine in there. Okay. Thumb safety on, we're not engaging the grip safety. Okay, good, check. Thumb safety off, not depressing the grip safety. Check. Thumb safety off, engage the grip safety, pull the trigger. Check. Hold the trigger down, rack the slide. The hammer stayed back. Check. Slowly bring the trigger home. Trigger reset. Check. But here's the thing. Half cock. It's in half cock. Why? Why did that happen? Half cock. Not depressing the grip safety. Why? No, you tell me, because I did work to the leaf spring. A lot of work to the leaf spring, a lot of adjustments. It's a very finicky section. You move it slightly, you can change everything. Okay? It's a very delicate operation, messing with the leaf spring. And with the leaf spring, the specific finger I'm working on, if you're looking at the leaf spring, and say the gun's pointing at me, right? You got your middle finger, which goes against the sear. You got this finger, which works with the grip safety, and then you got this finger. This is the finger I'm talking about that works with the disconnector. If it's too forward, you can have a lot of issues, and if it's too far back, you can have a lot of issues. So there's got to be a sweet spot in between. When the gun came to me, this is a new issue, just like the slide locking back issue with the original slide stop with that new design. So somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 rounds it started happening, where I was having half cock issues. Gotta breathe. Hold on. Okay. I have that finger bent so much. It looks so ridiculous. It's like, if you're looking at it like this is the finger we're talking about. This is the one on the sear. This is the one on the grip safety. It's bent like that. Just for the hammer to be in half cock. Anything else, any other way I have that adjusted, the hammer will not go in half cock. Why is that an issue? Because it should work. That's the principle. It should work. Airsoft or not, it should just work. And it has. Everything was perfect about the pistol until I started putting rounds through it. And again, I don't know what triggered it. No pun intended. I don't know what triggered the issue. But just look out for it. And again, it's an issue because you could see, even if a magazine in it That would make it unsafe if you're using the half cock feature. If you do not use half cock, then it's not an issue. But, well, it's not an issue 90%. The other 10%, it is still technically an issue because it should work. It's not safe. So say you're having a cooldown issue, sometimes the hammers like to go in the half cock. It just dropped. Just from depressing the grip safety, it will just drop and it's unpredictable. So if you're having this issue, either buy a new leaf spring, try it out. Hold on. That may not work either. Why? Because I took 2 other leaf springs, put them in the gun, and still have other issues. But other than that, other than the slide stop issue, which is easily rectified by either possibly not slingshotting it at all, or 2, just go back to the old slide stops. That's rectified. But then you got this half cock. Just don't use the half cock. Half cock isn't really all that safe anyway, even on the real steel world. You're just better off carrying it in condition 1, which everyone thinks is unsafe, but I've been over this 100 times. The 1911 is designed to be carried condition 1. Cocked and locked, you got 1 in the chamber, you got your magazine in there, you got your hammer cocked all the way, and then you got the thumb safety up. It will never go off, and if it does, that's a faulty pistol. It should never go off. You have this huge block inside that's connected to the thumb safety that totally locks the sear and hammer and everything into place. It should never ever drop. Just like how the hammer should never ever drop when the grip safety is not depressed. So in the name of I want to say science, but it's not really science. Mechanics? Learning? Now this is really unsafe. I'm doing this to demonstrate. Seven rounds. 1 in the chamber. Take the magazine out. Put it on half cock. It drops. Put it on half cock. Safe direction, it's down range. Half cock. Put the magazine in. I'm gonna hold it now. If you pay attention, my finger was out of the trigger guard. All I did was get a firm grip, and before I can even get ready to shoot, it went off. So either, again, maybe there's someone out there that's better than I am. Where's Lazouche when you need him? We're summoning Lazouche. Lazouche. Calling fucking Lazouche Mother Blooming Custom Shop. I think he would even be baffled. He'd be like, what the fuck? He'd be like, what the bloomin' hell? So, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but I just want to be very, very clear. I want to drill it in your head that either A, get someone better than me that could solve the issue. I'm sure there's someone licensed out there that could do better. Send the pistol back in hopes that... But again, doing these things may not actually rectify the issue forever. It could just occur. So what do I propose? Never use the half-cock. Never use the half-cock. Is the gun a piece of shit? No. Is it faulty? On the fence. But other than that, it works like a champ. And in the end of the day, that's what matters. And with me, I don't ever really use half-cock. I have days where I'll train with it. I'll do drills using the half-cock, you know, drawing it half-cock and then cocking it and firing, you know. But not enough, because again, I don't really see the half-cock to be safe, whether it works or not. But it should work. That's the principle. So, you know, long-ass video to explain two things, but I figured this is something I should bring to everyone's attention. If you purchase a newer WE 1911, could it be just a Warrior? I have doubts, because they're all designed the same way. A 1911 is a 1911. It just comes down to aesthetics and some functions, like ambi film safety or different sights. I mean, obviously there's a difference between Novaks, trench sights, Bomars, the War I era, which is what I have on my older pistol, where they're very, very short and the rear sights are rounded. The A1 sights, I mean, sights do make a difference. It makes a whole new sight picture for you. You know, other things like the extended beaver tail and stuff like that, I don't really see a difference in performance. I mean, they're all pretty much the same animal. It's just, you know, again, aesthetics. Like, this extended guy rod isn't really necessary. Does it help with recoil? A little bit, but not like... And with recoil, I'm not saying the felt recoil so much. I'm saying recoil control, because it keeps the slide and everything aligned and on track for follow-up shots. So, don't use the half-cock. Do not slingshot it. I know it's tempting, but don't do it. I'm sure there'll be some people out there, and that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That might come back and be, well, you know, this video is kind of stupid, or, you know, whatever. You know, everyone's allowed to have their thoughts. And the video wouldn't be complete without a little more firing. And I guess in a sense it'll just demonstrate and make the point of the slide stop issue, because it should not ever occur again. That was cool, so I gotta really invest in a new camera. I know I keep saying it, but I gotta do it. Alright, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. And for my Chinese viewers, Xie. Okay. And for my Spanish viewers, muchos gracias. And for everyone else, sorry, I can't remember. I can't remember how to say thank you in any other language right now at the moment. Figure it out, I don't know. Yeah. High power. Peace.